All right, Merry Christmas Part 2. So, change my plan. This log up here that I broke the chain on has got some really neat crotch figure and some really cool red colors in the crotch figure. This will be some really nice elm slabs that I'll probably be able to sell in slab form. I am going to pull this log off the mill. I'm not going to slab it right now. I should just slab it right where it is, but I'm going to leave it because I got to get this other order out of here. I am going to buck off that section and that log, that straight section, and I'm going to mill those two first. And if I have to, that one way up on top of the hill, that little log that you see that's in the back up there with the little American elm AE on the top by my finger, I'll pull that off and see if I can complete the order. This log is going to become an oh shit log that if I can't fill the order with what I have here, then I'll mill this. And there's a couple of reasons why, but number one, you can't see it right now. Hopefully you saw it in the last video. You can see it a little bit, but there's some real cool funky grain in that crotch that's kind of reddish color in that red elm. And if you see the grain in this log, you see how twisted it is? I'm worried that these aren't going to dry straight, and this whole log's kind of like that. So I'm going to pull this log off. I'm going to try to fill the order with that log, the straight section. So I'm going to actually buck that to like 6 foot, 5'6". Hopefully there's some little weird fissure in this log right here in the bark. Hopefully that's not anything, but I'm going to buck this off. The biggest piece I need is 5 foot. So I'm going to buck this off at 5'6". I'm going to buck that one off. I'll square up the end and buck that piece off, and then I'll try to take the whole order out of this log and that log, with that little dinky log up on top being the contingency piece, and save this one and mill it for slabs, since I'll be getting so much call for slabs. So I had a brand new chain inside, but it was 050 instead of 058. So I got to repair the other chain. I'm going to block these up with my 272. I also brought down my wife's MS-180 to do some trimming if I have to, but we're going to block these up with the 272. And what I'm going to do is get you a view back. I'm going to pull that other log off the mill really quick. I'll move you closer when I get closer, but we're going to pull that off the mill, get it out of the way. I'm going to grab that log around the crotch where the big crotch section is and just lift this one little section up, buck that off, and then do the same thing with the other log. So that's what we're going to do. We'll get to cutting pretty quick here. Let me just pull the other log off the mill and we'll go from there. let's square up the end on this thing. Let's get this all warming up. Keep pulling the pull cord out of it, so I'm gonna have to get a new one in it. At least you get to see the 272 run against the 372. This one's got, I'm right up against the other log, so I'm just going to have to be a little bit careful, but the buck will send off into it. Definitely nicked something. The chain's definitely not as sharp as the one that was on the 272. I'm gonna try to take off to where the undercut was on this. Oh my God. Hi, hon.
Hi. sec?
What's up?
Can I have your wallet for a sec?
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks.
We're going to social group. Love you.
Have fun. Oh, this is not going well right now. Measure it. Find my tape measure it. Somewhere around 5'6", plus I got a little bit of the other stuff there. 6 foot right here. Clear there, a little bit down. So we got our 2 sections of log. Put you guys back over here. Go throw one of these up on the mill. I guess we'll cut that one first. Get back where you can see. All right, that looks like it works. So let's do that. So we're going to start taking it apart from here. And what I have is I've got 6x6s and 4x4s, and this is the longest length that I need. So what we're going to do is we're going to blast it into a square, and then we'll see what we got for dimensions, and we'll take it from there. So I'm going to blast the top off it and get these other dogs out of the way. What a pain in the ass. It's like, oh yeah, can you give me a good deal on wood? Yeah, I can give you a good deal on elm. And then here we end up doing a whole shit pile of extra stuff to get it to work. That's why you shouldn't do any deals when you get something that's, and be honest, they didn't ask me for a deal, so you know, I don't want them to watch that and say, hey, wait a second, we didn't ask me for a deal. But this is why when you have something that's kind of rare, you got to stick to your guns price wise. I'm only doing this for $4 a board foot, but I've already got a wrecked chain. I've got rocks in the bark. Wish I could get this bark off. Let's see if we can. Let's make the video longer. Nice. If we get this bark off, it will save us a band. If we leave this bark on, we're going to roach a band fairly quick. So it's just like, you know, if we leave the bark on, it's $30 in a couple of minutes. Fucking thing hanging out, right? It's possibly not all going to come off, but anything we can get off, the better. just going to be absolutely brutal. It's definitely not all going to come off. And to make matters more interesting, it's little log milling, which is never easy because we're only using one dog, one hold down, one stop, one dog. I want to be able to show them the video of their log getting milled, so I want to, I'm videoing this more for the business than I am for your enjoyment. I just think that other log has more of a possibility of bending and twisting than these. And we will find out when we mill the boards off it, because if they start bending, then we realize that we made a bad call. But I think that the best thing to do in something like this, where it's going to be this nice high-end rail, is to give them a couple extra pieces with the order and hope if they end up with enough straight, when it's being milled to final dimension like this is, that's kind of the game you're playing here. You don't have any room for wiggle room here. They're not milling these down. They're not going to mill these to dimension. They need to be dimension when they come off the mill. Go with that. Kind of got to clean on the top here. Let's take the top off it. This log kind of needs to move this way. I think if I move it this way, I can catch this. I think I have enough there. It's only got to come about. Yeah, I got plenty. This log needs to go that way. So maybe I'll do it after I get a flat on it. Let's see if we can mill a flat on it right now. We'll take the top off it and let me get this mill warmed up. we'll slide it down. When we flip it over, we'll slide it down, get it behind that one too. So they have some 3x6 need. So if I take this off, if I take a 2.5 inch slab out of this right now, I'm going to dress 2 of their 3x6s. So I want to take 2.5 out of this right now, and that will end up being 2.5 by 5.5. So we'll do that. Do that right now. Because this end's really too thin to do anything with. I'm getting more of the bark off. No, it's just... show you what happened. Oh, so far this is a disaster. Now, I didn't get any stress in it, but what's happening is it feels tight. It feels tight. All right. I got a little ridge in it right here. Hopefully that's long enough to not be a problem. It's going to cause a problem somewhere. I need to skim the top of this. Nope, it's inside of 5 feet, so it is going to cause a problem. If I flip this over right now, my cut on the other side is not going to be parallel to this because of this little ridge right here. I'll show you what I mean. I need to skim the top, but I can't have the log moving. So if you see this little ridge right here, when the log moved when I was milling it, this is at a different plane than this is. So if I flip this over right now, that's going to be at a different plane. Now it won't be if I move it down. So I guess it won't be. It's going to get past that bunk. I have no way of knowing if this all ended up pretty flat. I'd kind of like to skim it. But the problem is that it's still moving. It's not. So let me do this. Let me try this. Let's take the dog out. Let's undog it. See if I can, see if I can shove it over just a hair. Get this over like this and go up. Then bring it back against it. See, it's still. Let me see if I can dog it like that and skim it. Where are you guys going to get a good view? We'll get a good view right here. Let's do that. Make sure that we end up with, I need a clean surface. That's going to be the one real important part of this job, is that I get a clean surface across the top. I can't move it now, so let's see if we can skim off. I need that 1/8 back, so like a quarter to true it up. Well, let's try it there. Yeah, it came out nice. Came out nice and flat. Beautiful looking wood. Yep. All right. I'll get it rolled over and move that way. Come on, find your way. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's unreal. Unreal. Let's see if we can shove it down enough to get another one. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Well, now we can hold it tight. Our battle at this point is to get on dimension here. So we'll get you. Actually, you know, that really wasn't a bad view, was it? Let's get her dog down, get the top pulled off it, and then we'll worry about dimension. Get her cleaned up. Gonna move it down just a little more at some point. Okay. It's nice. Get a measurement over here. And my fucking tape measure's gone. Figures. So if I come down to 9, I can take 6s, 5.5, and 3.5. So if I come down to 9 right now and take it off, get my cants on, I can take 4x4s and 6x off. So we're gonna come down to 9. square it, take the top off it, probably roll it back, cut it in half. What my decision is right now, well, I got two 2x3s there. Have you come over here because this is kind of important. Let me shut off. So my decision right now, this should be at 9 1/8. Yep. Is that I can take it down. You take 3 1/2 off the bottom. Oh no, I got extra. I've already cut my 2 1/2. Yep, forget it. Forget it. I need 3 1/2 and 6 and 5 1/2. So I need 9, but I have to make a cut, so it's going to be 9 1/8. So to center up, that's like 2, so I need a 3 1/2 out of the bottom, and that'll leave me a 5 1/2 out of the top, and that'll center that pith. Huh, it's unreal. No wonder it was on that. The problem is that right now I'm only going to get 1 6x out of this side. I could take 4x out of this side and 6x out of this side. So if I came up 5 1/2, then I could get 2 4x is 7 inches. So I get 2 4x out of this side. I get 2 4x out of here, and I can get probably 3 6x out of there. No. 15, no, I can't. I can only get 2 and 2. I'm only going to get 2 and 2 regardless. So I have to drop down from here 3 1/2 and take a cut. Or come up 5 1/2 off the bottom and take a cut. That's what I have to do right now. And this is not up enough. Okay. All right, so I have to come up 5 1/2, take a cut off. Gonna have to do it regardless. I'm gonna have to do it regardless. So yeah, come up 5 1/2 and slab it. Then I gotta edge them all. So let's do that. Then we're gonna have to check our order. So we're going to come up. 5.5, take a slab off. Then we're going to edge them. Because this edge is not going to be the same. The only problem with doing it this way is that I'm going to have to square the little slabs. Unless I roll it up and I take this, flatten this off, that'll help. I'm going to roll it up. If I square off this side and don't go below 11 1/8, it's not going to work that way. I think it's just going to be easier to slab it the way it is. Let's take the come up 5.5. Should leave me 5.5 or 3.5. Yeah, all right, so that works. Alright, so now what we can do is edge off these 3 slabs. And we should have all of our 3s, a couple of our 4s, and a couple of our 6s. I'll give you a look at this, and then I'm going to pause you. I'm going to go up and grab my cut list. So this is where we are now. I'll give you a look at the grain here in this red elm. It's beautiful. So my goal is to take my 2 6x out of the heartwood. I think they'll end up cutting through the pith. Take 2 4x4s out of that one and 2 6. Like, I can't remember 4x3s or 6x3s. I think 6x3s out of that one. I think they're 6x3, so they're 2.5 by 5.5 out of that one. So that's our next job. I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to go up, grab my cut list, try not to trip and fall down here, and then we'll deal with the rest of it. Pause. All right, so what we're going to get right here, just to give you an update before we go look at the cut list, is that we're going to get 2 3x6s out of that. They're 2.5, they'll be 5.5 wide. Then we're going to get 2 4x4s out of that, and 2 6x6s out of that. 5.5, 5.5, 3.5, 3.5. This is our cut list. So that means that we're going to have all of our 6x6s cut. We need 2 of them. We're at like 6 feet, so the 5 feet's no big deal. We're going to have both of our 3x6s cut. That'll be done. And we're going to have 2 of our 4x4s cut, leaving us, we're going to need 4 left. So we're going to need a 7-inch cant out of the other log, and we can get the whole thing. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to go ahead and cut this one out, and then I'll do probably a part 3 to do the other log, because this is going to take a while with loading stuff up and cutting it out. If you look down this, let's look down this cant really quick and see which way is going to be the best way to put it down. All right, I can tell you rolling it up is going to be the best way. I'm going to do some measurements to make sure that I have 10 inches of heartwood, and our goal is really going to be to clean the heartwood up. I don't know where my other tape measure is. Where is it? It's insane. So is it in the Bobcat? Is it in the Bobcat? Nope. Huh. I got a tape measure totally missing here. Over on those logs. All right, so what we need is we need 10 inches of heartwood here. Yep. Or 11 inches of heartwood. You got plenty. Pretty much. Definitely. All right, so if we skim the heartwood, recenter the pith, skim the heartwood, it's going to be really close to cutting the pith out. 5.5 on both sides. The pith is pretty much 5.5 there. It's going to be really close. So let's get it rolled up. Try to square it up. I'm definitely going to have to change the orientation of these dogs and stuff. So I know that I'm not going below 5.5. So I can take these up to 5.5. I know I'm not going below that. And then we'll try to get a square. Dog down. We'll take the top off it. Let's see how we're looking here. This one's not square anymore. This one's got to be squared. pretty close right there. My bone in low. This dog is not square anymore. Or that backstop. Right now I'm really close. I'm really close to perfectly square right there. And the problem is that this, well, doesn't feel like it's going to move. I think I could take the top off it like that. Let's do that. Yeah, it's really square. So I need to come up there. 14, that's there. Let's see where 14 is here. 14 is just a teeny bit low there. There's 15 there. There's 15 over here. 15's right at the top. That gives a little bit of sapwood. Let's try it at 15. Yeah, let's cut it at 15. There's a little bit of tension in that piece, which means that I would maybe like to come down a little bit more on this. We're going to flip it over. And we're going to see where we are. We're also, I think, maybe, we're going to square up this little dog here. This dog's not square. Let's see how that looks for square. It's not perfectly square. It's pretty getting close though. Yeah. Huh. I don't have anything to square these right now, so Both of these are showing opposite. Alright, so let's take the top off it. Maybe we'll flip it back over afterwards. Very, very minimal bending. That was good. Very little tension. So we got two 5.5 posts by full length. Definitely rough sawn, which is what they wanted. They came out pretty straight, pretty on dimension, just looking at them like this. I ended up with a 5/4 and a 1-inch board on the side. And then what we got to do is we got to get this one up there and cut two 4x out of it, two 3.5 by 3.5. What we're looking for is that right through here we have 7 inches. So we're going to cut through it here and then cut through it there. So we're going to want this facing out, and we got to get it square. We'll top it off first and then we'll flip it over. Okay, go around the other side, get it square. And we'll check it. It's square on this one. Hopefully it's square here. Pretty damn square. Looks like the bottom's going to go that way just a little bit. Let's check this side. It's pretty damn square. So if I dog this one low, if anything, it's going to make it go like that. It's almost square. Yeah, there's a little bit of a bow in it. It's pretty damn square. So I'm going to take the top off. We got to do some measurements, make sure we take it off the right spot to get rid of the wane. This one we're going to have to do carefully. So we have 7 inches there. So we need to hit it right here. And we have a great way of checking that. We're gonna have to sneak up on it. So let's take it off at 13.5, and then we'll come down whatever we need to hit that mark. enter that way. Perfect. It's going to be below 3.5. Let's get down to 1. Nibble the top off until we get to 7 and 8. We need 7 and 8. Two of our 4x4s. We're going to cut everything long so we don't have to worry about the minimum dimension. We got a little bit of sapwood on them. They're beautiful. They're going to be gorgeous. And then the last one we get cut. That one was a little weird. Gotta measure that real quick. Hopefully it didn't raise up when I dogged it, because when I undogged it, it kind of felt like it fell down. Let's just check the dimension. Should be 3.5. 3.5. 3.5. It's 3.5 by 3.5. 3.5. Yeah, it's perfect. So I think to edge the last one, we'll leave that on there. Dog up against. Yeah. this one's got to be a 6x. And we can go, we do have 6x. Be 6x6x5. These are going to be 4 feet long, so we have a little bit of leeway here. We have to measure over where it gets thin right here. Let me show you this. I need to find a lumber crayon too, because I need to know this. Get my kit here. I get my fingers to work, that'd be great. I lost like 2 tape measures today. So right here, where it necks down, we need 11 inches. We don't have it, right? So if we go to here, we have 11 inches right here. So if we just make a mark right there, right? And they need to be 4 feet long. That's 4'5". So this right here is where we want to make sure that we had our, they're going to be 3 by 6. So right there, that point is where, that gives us 4'6", gives them an extra 6 inches. That's where we want to get our, where we want to be 11 inches wide. We don't care about this. This doesn't matter. So we'll take our measurement off of here. We'll cut it so that we cut out right there on the top. And then we'll flip it over, and then we should have our dimension here. That's kind of how it's going to go. Up against this 4x should get us pretty square. We'll check it too. It should be fairly square. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's perfect right there. That's where we need it right there. Let's see if we can get the bottom dogged. That's where we need it. Let's see what that looks like. It needs to come over a little bit on the top. It's a teeny bit unsquare, not a lot. Wow, there's a lot of tension in this piece. There's a lot of tension in this piece. One of these is really not good. That's really good. Let me see something here. I don't know if this one bowed or move this down. Oh, we can't. We can't. Take it back. Can't move it down. Huh. one of the problems with cutting the final dimension here. I need this to lean this way a little bit. I can't see why it's so messed up. I can't take this top off that on square. I need to figure out how I can shim out the back. Let's see what that looks like. So that's perfect. And I don't want to twist it, so I'm going to drop a little bit in here when oh fuck. Alright, well, we could probably take it off just like that. Let's take the top off it there. If it holds it, that'll be great, because it's square right now. Let's see, we're going to take it off. We're going to take this off. Oh man, it's going to be tight. So we're going to take it off at 13 there. What's it over here? 13, it's good. I think it's good. Take it off at 13, I think we're good. Just kind of get you guys over here. We'll take it off at 13 and flip it over. We can rip it into 2 6x. Behind it, so we will never hit that. Take it off at 11 1/8 and then drop down and take this 5 1/2. So that gets us our 2 2x6s, 2.5x6s. And there's no wane at 4 feet, which is what we want. A pretty color. Pretty red elm color. fairly straight. And a 4x4 right here. All right, it's going to lead us to a part 3, but so we got two 5.5 by 5.5. We got two 4x4s. We got two 6x3s, and we got a pile of 1x and stuff like that. There are some 1x over here. There's some firewood, a few little 1x boards. Almost no waste here at all. Two, jacket cuts over there that there's just, or slab cuts, there's just nothing in. So the next job is to put another log up here, and what we need from here is we need 4x4s. So we need 4 more 4x4s at least 5 feet long to get us to the 6, and this one's done. So we're going to throw the other log up here and see if we can get 4 4x4s out of it. So this is an hour 34. Thanks for watching, and I'll be right back with another log. See ya.